guys, I'm Tori, and today I'm going to be doing my April Books to Books TBR. I am losing light, so I'm going to get through this quickly. As you'll see in the rolls, I decided to continue to include Bring Up the Bodies and Gone with the Wind for the read-alongs I'm hosting. I consider not doing that just because I felt like it might be a little boring after all this time to do that, but I decided, you know what, I am finishing off school, it will be my finals, so anything I can do to not stress myself out as much would be great. So I did decide to include those again. If you're new here, welcome. I will leave a link to a playlist down below for my Books to Books TBRs so you can kind of get a feel for it. And yeah, like I said, I have very limited amount of time where I still have light, so let's just get right into the rolls. Okay, so like I said, I did already place out Wolfhall / Bring Up the Bodies out, as well as Gone with the Wind, since I will be finishing those in April. Then I think for the last 6, I'm going to just do 3 non-classics, 3 classics for now. I may change that throughout the game, but we'll start there. So we will start with, Medusa. That's a pretty recent release and recent purchase, so that's kind of exciting. The Alloy of Law, another recent purchase, and Piranesi. And then we'll go for classics, which we have A Lady of Quality, the Barsetshire Chronicles, which means I'll be reading The Warden if I get this, as that's the first in the series and one I have not yet read. Then we have Life's Little Ironies. So those are our 8 choices, our 8 options, and let's grab the first prompt. Our first prompt is grief. So one of these that relates to grief. I feel like this is a tricky one because obviously I haven't read these, so I don't know which ones really dig into grief. I feel like I could either go with Bring Up the Bodies or Medusa, as I know Bring Up the Bodies does involve death and grieving of lost loved ones. But Medusa, I know, will probably deal with grieving of her loss of just her humanity, her loss of her life that she has grown accustomed to because of the curse that is placed upon her. So I'm going to choose between those 2. Even though I do really want to get Bring Up the Bodies into this list, I actually think I'm going to go with Medusa because it's not very long and it's one that I'm seriously so excited to read that I can't wait. So it's a perfect opportunity to get myself to just be able to read it. So yes, our first prompt, grief, will go with Medusa. Okay, so the first book I ended up picking is a recent release and a recent purchase for me, and that is Medusa by Jessie Burton. This is a story following the story of Medusa. That's all I really know. I also know it's a YA, which is not very common for me to pick up, but there was just something so intriguing about this. Also, look at the illustrations in this book. They're incredible, and it's not a very long book, so I definitely feel like I should be able to finish this in April, hopefully, and it is one that I've honestly been dying to read, so I'm really glad it ended up coming up in this round of my TBR. Okay, replacing that card, we have The Witch's Boy, and I don't think there's any of these that I really feel a need to switch out right now, so let's just go with the next prompt, which is Younger Than Adult. So a book that is either a young adult or a middle grade, I think, is what I'll go for that prompt. And unfortunately, I think the only one that works for this is The Witch's Boy. I say unfortunately just because that's just adding another thing to my TBR that I might not be able to get to, but we will at least attempt to get to The Witch's Boy this month. Okay, then I still haven't gotten my 2 read-along books in on this TBR because the next pick we had was The Witch's Boy by Kelly Barnhill. I know nothing about this book, but the author also wrote The Girl Who Drank the Moon, which was a pretty popular middle grade a few years ago. I think it won some awards, and it's one that I really enjoyed. I read it last year. And so when I saw she had another middle grade about witches, I decided, you know what, I have to pick it up. So like I said, I know nothing about it. I will read the back so I can at least give you an idea. So it looks like we follow 2 characters. One is a boy named Ned, who he and his identical twin brother end up in a boat accident, and he is the only one who survives, and the village believes that he was the wrong boy to have survived. And then we also follow a girl named Aine. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but she is told that the wrong boy will save her life and she will save his, and then a bandit king comes in to steal magic from Ned's mother, and that is all I really know. But I really liked The Girl Who Drank the Moon, like I said, and so that fairy tale-esque middle grade fantasy is really up my alley, so I'm very excited to pick this up. And replacing that card, we have the Golden Compass. Okay, and then moving into the final prompt, we have last alphabetical. So this can be by author's name or by title, and it can be author's last name or first name. So let me think about this for a moment. Okay, I have sorted out. So it seems that Piranesi is the last, obviously from the title that is last alphabetically. The last name that is alphabetical is Trollope, Anthony Trollope for Barsetshire Chronicles. And then the last first name is Thomas Hardy for Life's Little Ironies. Books to Books is not being kind to me this month for my finals, so I don't know if I'm going to get this all done. But I think I'm going to go with Barsetshire Chronicles because I don't have a lot of classics going on this month, and this is on my list of Victorian reads that I need to get to before Victober, so I think we're just going to go with that for that prompt. And apparently Books to Books did not want to be kind to me this month, although frankly all three of these additional books are pretty short, so I do have hope that I could still work them all in. But the last book I got was The Warden by Anthony Trollope. This is the first in his Barsetshire Chronicles series, and it's one that I've really wanted to start. I actually on my post-Victober TBR, so the Victorian literature I for sure want to try to get to before next Victober. I had starting one of Trollope's series on that list, so this works out perfect for that. It isn't very long, like I said, and I think I might listen to it on audiobook actually, so if I do that, I feel like it's very possible I could get to all of these. If I'm being honest, I think The Witch's Boy is the lowest priority for me. If there is anything that I don't finish off this TBR, it's probably going to be that one, but we will see what happens. Like most things, I don't really know what this is about beyond, I think it's about a man who is a church leader of some type. He's a clergyman, and he has really great integrity, but some things come forward that show that he may have been being paid more than he should have been. And so there's a lot of politics and drama surrounding that in this book, and I've heard good things about it. This is one that I've heard it's helpful to read this followed directly by the sequel. However, I have heard a lot of people just loving this one on its own. So hopefully I'll fall into the latter category, and this will end up being a great Trollope for me to read. And then of course we have the read-along books that I will have to read this month. So first of all, I'll be finishing Bring Up the Bodies by Hilary Mantel. For those who aren't aware, I am hosting a read-along of the Wolfhall or Thomas Cromwell series by Hilary Mantel with some wonderful friends of mine, Marissa from Blatantly Bookish and Emily from Novelle Novels. At the point I'm filming this, I still haven't started this. I really want to, I just am trying to finish some other things before I get into this. So hopefully I'll be halfway through by the end of this month. It's only like 240 pages that I need to read, which is not bad at all. And it is currently the 24th, so I have enough days that I think I'll be able to do it, but if I don't, I will be hopefully very close. So anyway, we will be finishing that. And then the final book on my April TBR is of course finishing Gone with the Wind by Margaret Mitchell. I will be, like I said, halfway through this as well. I am currently very close to the halfway point. I think I'm about 100 pages off, so I'll definitely finish. This read along specifically, I've been hosting by myself, and we read Vanity Fair followed by this, as they have very similar characters, and a lot of people believe this is a retelling of Vanity Fair. However, the author, Margaret Mitchell, claims she never read Vanity Fair, which I don't know whether I believe that or not, but it is a really interesting read, and I'm excited to finish it in the month of April. So that is it. I am officially just about done with the light. The sun is very much going down, so we're going to stop there. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know down below if you've read any of these, your thoughts on them, as I would love to know. I also would like to take a moment and ask you guys to pray for me as I have to deal with my finals this month, because I am graduating beginning of May, which means this is like my last month of school of solid school. I mean, I may end up going to graduate school at some point. It is on the table still, but I'm not totally sure when that will be or if that will be. I really am just kind of seeing where life takes me right now. So anyway, please pray for me if you pray, or just wish me luck if you don't, because I'm gonna need it. Anyway, again, thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you next time. Bye!